All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's informational presentation here. My name is Jay Adams. I'm 34 years old. I live currently in Florida here in the United States. I want to give you some valuable information this evening. You know, we're not going to take up too much of your time, but I do believe that tonight is a call that can change the entire trajectory for your life forever. You know, I'm going to share you guys a little story of my life and how I came about to this moment in time in history. And, you know, from 34, we're going to flash back to when I was 21. And, you know, I was going through school, I was currently in college, and I was sitting there and I was understanding, why do I need this degree? And in no way, shape, or form am I here to knock education. I believe education is very essential. If it wasn't for the education that I did receive, if it wasn't for the schooling that I went into, you know, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. I want to possess the communication skills, the business skills, so on and so forth that I now possess today. But I will say this, is that when I was growing up, I was not taught how to be financially literate. And this is a story, not just for myself, for my experience, but it's a story I hear very, very, very often in my travels, in meeting individuals all across the world, is that, you know, they're not really taught the proper financial literacy and the education to take them to the next level. You know, how is somebody successful? How is somebody able to have huge businesses and go and travel the world, and things like residual income? And these were all things that were completely out of mind while I was growing up, until I reached 21 years old, when I got into the direct selling space. And I saw an individual at that time. He was 21 years old. He was making close to $80,000 per month. And I saw him, and I had this idea in my mind. I was like, if somebody is able to do something at my age at that time, then why can't I? And I think that's the question you got to ask yourself tonight, is whoever invited you here on this call, whether it's a friend, whether it's a colleague, whether it's somebody you work with, whether it's a family member, they like, trust, and respect you enough to just get you some information, get you some education to see what's out there, see what they're seeing that's causing them to see the results that they're currently experiencing. And that's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, I want to get into this, guys, and discuss real quick what exactly we're going on here. So I'm going to share the screen, and I'm going to bring this up right here. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see and hear the stream. And we're going to give you guys an introduction to Driven Trading IX. Okay, one skill that completely can change everything. Going back to the story, guys, you know, why trading, and why you see the word trading on the screen is for one reason. It's because one skill can really change everything. It's the one skill that took me from, you know, going through the trials and tribulations of life, having jobs, I guess, you know, we call it a job, having jobs and having careers that I was passionate about, but still not getting to the caliber of success that I wanted to achieve. Is that your story? Is that a story that, you know, you've gone and got your degree, you do something that you love, and you're just sitting there one day and you're like, where is the next step of life? Where's that next trajectory of success going to come from, or how can I get there? And I was sitting there, guys. I was a personal trainer from the age of 21 to I was 24, and saw success. I got into the direct selling space, aka the network marketing space, understood residual income, started doing what successful people do. I was the guy who was 21, energetic, slinging energy drinks around the, you know, my where I'm from. But nonetheless, guys, but that being said, I was not taught financial literacy skills to maintain the income that I was attaining. And lo and behold, when I was 25, what can you guess happened? Boom, back home with mom and dad, everything just falls apart because I was not putting my money to work for myself. And this is where a lot of people, you know, they fall into, you know, this quadrant right here. And before I dive deep into this, guys, we're not going to go over this specific quadrant here for a long time. I'm not going to waste your guys' time tonight. But before I get into that, guys, is just a quick disclaimer out there. I'm going to say some stuff tonight that may be, you know, kind of forward looking, meaning, you know, maybe it's a, you know, dollar amount that I say or something like that. Understand that we do not constitute any type of guarantee whatsoever. We are not saying, hey, you come here, you learn, you know, we'll guarantee this. No, there's no guarantees, you know, et cetera. So just quick disclaimer out there. We're not licensed to sell securities or investments of that sort. So just understand that as a quick disclaimer going forward. So the cash flow quadrant, I think it's super important. This is something that changed my entire life aside from trading. It's the one thing that I was introduced to that I was like, wow, this really makes sense. And it's when I was 21, I was on this side of the quadrant. I followed something I was passionate about, yet I was an employee, aka I was self-employed. I was kind of both. As a personal trainer, as you guys know, a lot of gyms, they have kind of two different business models. One model is you're an employee getting an hourly wage and you can sell some, clients to get on your personal training repertoire or whatever, and then you get a little percentage of that one sale. Or you're basically self-employed where the company's not giving you anything, but you're an independent contractor and you have to make sales and you get pretty much most of the sales and you pay the gym a certain amount of fee. There's kind of two. I was kind of a hybrid of both, but I was on that side of the quadrant. And I was going to work nonstop Monday through Saturday. I was off on Sundays. And by the time Sunday came, I was too tired. Even for being 21 years old, working out all day long, Monday through Friday, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 3-hour break in the center each and every single day, Saturdays with a half a day. I was sitting there Sunday like, I'm too tired. Is this really what my life is supposed to be like? Here I am in my living room one day. I'm just, I'm doing what I love. I'm helping people, change their lives from a physical standpoint, from a health standpoint, yet here I am unhappy. And I had to ask myself that real deep question and say, why am I unhappy? It's because there's only so much room in this position and time of where I can go. Think about it. This is where so many people fall in line, and this is why they don't teach you this stuff in high school and grade school. All of these schools, they don't teach you this because they want you to fall in this line and this side of the quadrant, is being an employee or being self-employed, where pretty much makes up 95% of all the people, yet you only make up 5% of the money that is distributed throughout the world. So how do we change this, right? Before we get into how we can change it, I want to understand being on this side of the quadrant is like being in a box. I call it the box life. And you want to know what the box life is? It's okay, well, you can look at this room that I'm in right now, and we're in a box. That's the home. So when you wake up in the morning, you are in a box, aka your bedroom. You wake up, you go to your next box, which is your car, right? Most cars are shaped in a box, unless you're in the new Cybertruck that's coming out with Tesla. That's kind of like a weird shaped looking box or whatever, but it's besides the point. You drive in the box to another box, which is your office, your workflow place, wherever it is, your indoors and stuff. And then not only from a physical standpoint of a box, you're in a box of how far and vast you can go with your income, right? With your capabilities, with your freedom. Think about it. When you work at an employee, you work at an office job, let's just use my example at a personal training job. There's only so much room to grow. If I wanted to go take a trip tomorrow, or God forbid, something happened in my family tomorrow and I needed time off, guess what? I need to go and ask for time off. I don't even know if I have PTO. How much PTO do I have? This is how people live on a regular, everyday basis. Oh, I don't have PTO to get off here, or I can't go do this because of this. And they're restricted because they're inside this box life. And I understood this at a very young age, gratefully, because I was able to see other people doing it, and I was able to participate in calls just like this one because I was open-minded to seeing what else is out there. I was open-minded in seeing that the person who was presenting, just like I am on the screen, was not there to sell me, was not there to get anything out of me, but he was there to simply show me information that I was unused to. I wasn't used to it. And what happens when we get introduced to things that make us uncomfortable, we do what? Oh, it's too good to be true. Oh, it's a scam. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's a pyramid, right? And that's what people think when they see opportunity presentations like this. And what I'm telling you guys tonight is, if you take this with an open mind and understanding that we, in a trading skill set alone and what we teach, we have helped dozens of people. Again, no guarantee, but we have real life testimonials of taking you from this employee to the other side of the quadrant, being a business owner, being an investor. And guess what? This is 5% of the population, yet they control 95% of all of the money in the world. This is your Grant Cardones, your Tony Robbins, these Hormozis, and all these people you see on TV. Even so, you can look at Actors per se. Oh, that actor you look up to? Well, guess what? They're business owners. You can look at your favorite rapper, whoever it is. Guess what? Drake, Jay-Z, I don't know who it is, but guess what? They are business owners because now they use their skill sets. They did something different. And then now they were able to take their brand and blow it up into a business and then get into different investments where now they can go and travel. They can have freedom. They can do whatever they want for the rest of their lives and their family's life and their kids' life and their grandkids' life and on and on and on and on, and creating this kind of legacy play for them and themselves. Well, there's a lot of those plays out there, and I was unused to these kind of plays out there in the world. And then I got introduced to trading. And believe it or not, I got introduced to trading at the lowest point of my life. I was 25 years old. I had to move back home with mom and dad after having my own place, own cars, all this stuff, going out, traveling the country and stuff. And there I was 25 and I lost it all. I lost it all because I was unaware of financial education. And I wish there was things like this out there because there wasn't at that current point in time. And that's why when I first saw it at 25, I was like, wow, what is trading? Because nobody knew what trading was in 2014. I'm speaking from a place of, this was 2014, almost a decade ago, where I first got introduced to this right here. There was a phone and there was an app called MetaTrader 4, and most of you guys might know what that is, but I was introduced to this application. I was at lunch with my friend. He was visiting from California to my place I was living at the time in New Jersey. It was freezing cold outside. I remember the exact place I was at a small cafe 2 blocks away from where I was living at the time. And he says, I just made money from my phone. And I sat there. I was like, how did you make money from your phone? And he showed me these graphs and these bars, and they made no sense. He's like, yeah, you just buy here and you sell here, and you just kind of do this, and you make money. And that's all trading education was at that time. And then I said, wow, if we can literally be, think about this real quick. If I can literally be at a cafe with my friends and he just made money from his phone, and then it snaps in my head, I was like, I take my phone everywhere I go. Well, if I'm at the gym, I can trade from my phone and make money potentially. If I'm at, I don't know, work, and because I still had job, I was, having jobs at the time. If I can go to work and on my off time or my break, I can make money from my phone, right? That is freedom to me. I saw the word freedom in my mind when my friends showed me that. And I became obsessed. 2014, I became obsessed. I was studying out there. It was YouTube University. There was no trading education out there. In 2015, an opportunity sat into my lap. Call it God's grace. Call it, prayer. Call it whatever you want. But there was a company at that time in 2015 who wanted to do is what you're seeing tonight, is bring education out there and blow it up through the world and get it out there to the world. I was very grateful to be a part of this company at the time. From 2015 to 2020, we redefined the entire trading industry. We went worldwide. It was crazy. Helped hundreds of thousands of people learn the skill set of trading and introduce them to trading all across the world. But that's the past. That's why we're here today. We're here today because of one sole purpose: is Driven Academy. Driven trading. What is driven trading? It's trading education redefined. And what makes Driven different than a lot of other things out there is the team behind Driven trading. Well, what do you mean by the team? I've heard this before. I've seen other things out there, this trading team out there, or this trader out there, blah, 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 right? Oh, this academy's out there, this one's blowing up. Well, which one do I go to, Jay? Well, one is experience. With Driven Trading Education, you not only have experience for myself, almost a decade in the space of teaching people globally on a global scale, almost over 1 million people I've taught, I've touched probably over 1 million lives for the last 8 years of being a teacher. That means my education has touched over 1 million lives total within the last 8 years, right? Not only do you have myself, but you have the leader and the founder of Driven Trading, Mr. Corey Cromerick. Now, Corey, I got the privilege to know and get introduced to back in 2015 when I was having success in trading. And he was one of the individuals who kind of found me online. He was like, yo, what is this Forex thing? And he was a successful options trader at the time. Well, guess what? He wanted to dive into what's called Forex trading. Again, there's different markets out there, and see it. And then he opened his mind to that spectrum of trading. And what Corey did was, again, he went and became a futures trader. What's a different part of trading? It's kind of like next level. I call it the big boys. And he became a private equity fund manager for the last 7 years, guys. For 7 years, he's been managing millions and millions and millions of dollars. He's actually been in the top 1%. Check this out. Top 1%, top grossing portfolio on one of the largest brokerages here in the United States for the last 5 years straight. Now, is that somebody you want to learn from? If somebody that you had an opportunity to learn from or receive their education was in a top 1% grossing portfolio, one of the largest brokerages in the United States, would you learn from them? Would you want to learn from them? Would you pay to learn from them and see their strategy, see how they're able to do that, see how they're able to make a living and have freedom and take care of their families and leave a legacy for their family? Not only do you have him or myself, you have other traders who were hand selected by Corey to run their division, whether it's the crypto division, whether it's the indices division, whether it's the Forex division. We have educators and experts in each and every single one who are actually experienced. You know, I say that actually experienced because I've seen a lot of stuff that's out there. I've been a part of a lot of stuff out there because I do what's called R&D, research and development. I want to see what's out there. I want to see what's taught. I want to see who's teaching what and stuff so I can know how to get an edge above everybody else. And guess what? 90% of the time, the traders out there on these other platforms, one, they're not experts. Two, they're not licensed. Three, they barely have any expertise underneath their belt or any experience managing big money. Well, guess what? Here at Driven, you have people who have true, real life experience, who make livings just trading. They don't need a platform to make money with trade. They don't need to do this to make money trade. No, they are real traders with real results. So how is it redefined? Well, I'm going to talk about three kind of spectrums on our pillars here at Driven. We have first is Driven Live. Then we have the Driven Academy, and then we have the Driven Signals or the trade ideas. Let's dive a little bit into this, right? First things first, I want to introduce you guys to the Driven Academy. Now, the Academy's purpose is kind of like a college curriculum. It's kind of like your syllabus, right? When you go to college or you get any type of course or that first day of school, you're like, here's the syllabus for the year, and we're going to follow this for the year, right? Well, the Academy is basically all pre-recorded courses and academies that you can tune into at any time. It's kind of like the Netflix of e-learning. I call our academy kind of the Netflix of trading learning because it looks just like this right here, right? When you go to the website, you have all of these different videos. They show up just like this, from basics to advanced. Whether you're new to trading, advanced to trading, have expert trading, whatever it is, you can kind of choose these videos or these movies per se to see what you want to tune into. But not only that, we go back up to this one right here, and you can see that we have it laid out course by course, step by step on how to follow the syllabus of learning the skill set of trading. Because what we believe is that once you learn the skill set, man, you can take this wherever you want to go, potentially, not guaranteed. But again, hundreds of lessons, guys, from beginner, intermediate, advanced, mastery. It's a comprehensive academy, one of the most comprehensive academies I've seen. And the cool thing about it is that we just don't record it and say, here it is. We are always innovating our academy. We're always putting new content into our academy and courses, always creating new courses, right? It's kind of like this value alone, guys. I'm just being honest. I can go and sell this academy for $20,000 one time, and then I can charge $1,000 a month to have access to it. Why do I say that? Because I know what's out there. I've done a lot of R&D. There's other experts out there who do the same exact thing, and they have nothing. They touch nothing compared to what this academy gives you alone. Now, that's the academy portion. Let's dive a little bit more into it. Let's go to all the trading strategies. One of the other things, what makes Driven different, is that when you go to another academy and stuff, yeah, they may be good. They may be good traders. They have good results and stuff. But one thing that you never really see is that a trader never really gives his full strategy away. Why? Because they want you to come in and they want you to rely on them to continue paying for the service, right? Which is fine. That's cool. But at Driven, what we believe in is give us 6 to 12 months. All we need is 6 to 12 months. You come in. If you want to stay longer to be a part of the community, which a lot of our members do, that's cool. You can come in, kick it. People have, access to our Telegram groups, our private mentorship groups, and they kind of get in there to be a part of the community and just trade with other friends that they've met through this community. I've seen a lot of people come into this business totally lonely, just wanting to learn a skill set, and they end up meeting new best friends, and they go travel the world together and stuff like that. It's amazing. If that's you, cool. But one thing we do here at Driven, what Corey wanted to do was, I want us to give our strategies away. which is unheard of in this space. Our entire strategies are given away here. Mine's personally Driven Maverick. You have Moonride by Noah DeFreitas. He's a leader of the crypto division here. You have Driven Alpha, which is Corey's strategy on how he was able to become one of the top grossing portfolio managers in the United States, right? That's something you want to probably tune into. We have Financially Cultured, which is teaching you your stuff with, LLCs and taxes and how to divert this and how to do write-offs and all this other stuff by Jamari James is there. And you have all this other stuff. We have Spanish. We have everything being translated to Hindi languages, soon to be Mandarin, Italian, so on and so forth. So you got it all right here, right? And that's basically the academy. Now, the next thing, what brings me to and why I'm excited to talk about this is the same concept of your phone. Well, I'm always on my phone, Jay. Most people are scrolling through Instagram. They're scrolling through TikTok. That video is funny on TikTok. But guess what they're not doing? They're not making their phone make them money. And why is that important? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. How do I know it's possible? Because I've seen it for the last 8 years of my life. I've seen people, make absurd amounts of money just from their phone on a regular, everyday basis. But with that being said, what is this about? It's an application on your phone. You simply download it. You get exclusive access as a member of Driven Trading. And it's the ideas that myself, Corey, the entire Driven Trading team, that they see personally in the market, that we would execute on our own personal live accounts, right? What's made us successful for years and years and years and years, we're going to give you those trades directly to the palm of your hand on your smartphone. Well, what does this do, right? It not only gives you an edge above the rest, but it gives you a chance to kind of see what we're seeing as you're going through the learning process. And then eventually, if you want to still take the trades, cool. Eventually, our goal is to get you kind of off of it to teach you the skill set so you can become independent as a trader. But aside from that, is to just give you a little bit of extra as just a thank you and kind of another kind of incentive of being a member here at Driven Trading. So you can see here, this is what the app looks like. We give you entries. You're not forced to take these trades. This is not no automation or anything. You simply can take the information of an idea that we see in the market, and you can choose to input it to your own broker that you control 100% of. We don't take any profits. We don't take any commissions, none of that sort. It's simply just an idea that we give you guys in the market. It's kind of like, hey, Warren Buffett's one of the most successful investors of all time. If he were to give you ideas to your smartphone on an everyday basis of what he's selling, what he's buying, you would want to tune into that too, right? You'd probably most likely take a look at least into what he's buying or selling because it's Warren Buffett, right? This is the same exact concept, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely insane. And then we have this right here. This is the most undervalued, I believe, thing in learning is live sessions. Learning from somebody live. This is, I believe, especially in trading, is the best way to learn because you can see the psychology behind trading from learning from myself, learning from Corey, learning from the Driven Trading entire trading team of how we think psychologically during a major trading session and how we manage money along the way, how we manage positions. All of this stuff you guys will be able to see and learn through the process. Excuse me. Dozens and dozens of sessions every single week going live. A lot of the times we have a whole comprehensive schedule, and it's awesome to learn. Now, our goal at Driven, and this is bringing us to this, towards the end of this call right here now, is to take you from a beginner to a funded trader. Now, what is a funded trader? One of the big misconceptions in trading is that, especially when I started, I thought you needed at least $20,000 to open a brokerage account, right? That's pretty much this. At that time in 2014, that was the standard. And I know that because my older brother participated in options trading, when I was a couple of years before in 2014, it was like 2011, 2010, kind of that time frame. And I was like, man, in order for me to participate in trading, I need 20 grand. And at that time of 25, lowest point of my life, I didn't have that. Well, lo and behold, I understood that you can get involved with trading with as little as $50, $100. Now, are you going to make a ton of money off of that $100? Probably not. But at least you can get some skin in the game and start learning with that. Or you can do what's called demo money. And that was 2014. Now, how times have changed, guys. Times have changed in pretty much the last, I would say, 2 years. The last 2 years, what's become a huge thing and what companies have opened their mind to is what's called funding. Making funding traders. There's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of companies out there you can get funded with. Some of them are crap. Some of them are good. I'm just putting it out there and keeping it real. But our goal is to take you from beginner and get you funded. Why? Because it leaves the excuse, oh, I'll never make 6 figures a year trading because I don't have the capital to do so. Well, guess what? You can go for tests to be a trader with a firm and potentially get funded. How amazing is that? So to have 4 steps: information, education, support, and live trading, right? We have a new course, the Prop Firm Mastery. Well, what is a prop firm? A prop firm is a firm willing to give you money if you can prove to them that you are good enough to manage their funds. So what happens is you pay like a couple $100, a little as $99. You can get access to $10,000 in funding, and you can go and test on a demo server. And then once you meet certain qualifications on an account, you can do it as little as minimum as the first day. It can take you 30 days, 60 days, unlimited time, right? You can go and test, and if they see your skill sets and you reach qualifications, well, guess what? They will fund you that, and they will say, hey, take 75 up to 90% of the profits that you make on this account. Now, this is insane, and I wish they had this when I first started trading because, I don't know, I'd probably be somewhere else right now because when I first started trading, I had to do my own money, and I had to learn to grow my own money, and it started out with a couple $100. I had to take that couple $100 and slowly do the compound effect, you know, the old school Darren Hardy compound effect. Yeah, that was me in 2014 because this just came out 2 years ago. It's funded accounts. But now you guys have the opportunity and the privilege to see this as we continue to advance in the trading community. And we have the Prop Firm Mastery. Not only with the Prop Firm Mastery, we've what's called the Funded Traders Club, a driven members exclusive Telegram channel that is the sole purpose. It's the cool community. Everybody comes together. Us as a driven trading team, we're sending out, you know, trades here. Hey, we have a session here. Come tune in because we're going to be trading on funded accounts. Here, come in here. So we got to give you a little extra edge to get you essentially funded from firms. And with that, what makes Driven so unique, another aspect of it, is that we have a exclusive partnership with one of the best prop firms out there in this space called Impact Trader, where Driven members get 25% off all assessments exclusively with Impact Trader. Impact Trader has no time limits, no minimum trading days. You can take as long as you want to pass, 1 phase, 2 phase, high drawdown parameters and stuff, and it's insane of what they're able to do. And we're kind of blessed here at Driven to be able to have access to that and tell our members, hey, not only as a Driven member you can come in, but now you can get a percentage off that assessment alone to potentially get you funded. So the whole goal is to come in, right? Let's teach you, let's get you an assessment, let's get you good enough so you can pass and then get funded from the firm. And that's essentially what's our vision here with Driven Trading, so on and so forth. So you may ask, well, what's the catch, right? There is no catch, guys. It's $175 a month. That Starbucks you're paying for each and every single day, guess what? It's more than $175 a month, guarantee you. Go look at your bank statements, download that. What's that app I always see on Instagram and TikTok? Like, download it's not Robinhood. I can't think of the app right now. It's some type of app, and they're like, oh, look at all your subscriptions that you're paying for, and your Netflix and your Hulu, and you have Fox, and you have Stars, and you have all these different apps. Well, guess what? You add that up, and you find an app to track that stuff. Find an app to track your Starbucks. Find an app to track your Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know what kind of person you are, Dunkin', Starbucks, whatever. I guarantee you can take that up, right? It's going to be way more than $175 a month. Now, why do I say that? I say, what does the temporary, right, look like in regards to the future? What do you want your future to look like? And what sacrifices are you willing to make right now to learn the skill set? Maybe $175 a month. Well, guess what? We can show you how to get that for free, potentially, through our system. That's a call for another day, right? But essentially, $175 a month is literally like $5 a day. It's not going to break the bank. Now, am I saying give up your Starbucks? No, I'm not saying that. I love coffee too. I'm a coffee drinker, but whatever. I'm saying, what is there in your life that you can potentially minimize to see unlimited potential? And why do I say unlimited potential, guys? It's because I have seen thousands and thousands and thousands of people maybe in your same position where they don't have much to live off of, or they don't have much to put in their budget to spend a monthly subscription. But guess what? In the next 6 months to a year, 2 years, 3 years, right? In the next 3 years, they're literally living the life that they dreamed up 3 years ago. And I say that because I've seen it. I've witnessed it. Not only myself has witnessed it, so many people across the world have witnessed it. What is the difference between somebody going from zero and having no money to go and traveling the world and doing whatever the heck they want to do? Guess what? There is absolutely no difference. There's no difference from myself to you across the screen right now. There's no difference whatsoever. The only difference is access to education. The only difference is hours and hours and hours of perfecting the craft. The only difference is spending hours and hours studying, participating, being a part of a community, teaching people, right? That is the only difference. I had access to the information sooner than you did. So what? Don't use that as an excuse. Don't use money as an excuse, because guess what? You never know where this skill set will take you. And why do I say that? I say that because now with access to funding, guys, I've literally seen this, like it blows my mind sometimes, is that I've seen regular individuals, and I'm not saying this from a bad standpoint, I've seen literally single moms come in our academy in the last year. A year ago, they knew nothing about trading. They had not really much money to trade off of. And now they're trading on funded accounts of $100,000 plus, making that like $8,000 to $10,000 a month minimum, just from their phones, just from trading these funded accounts. And then now they can take that and they can continuously grow. And guess what? The only difference, I'm going to say this right now. When you get invested in our academy, guys, you will see that what I learned on how to manage $100,000, I can do the same thing with $500,000. I can do nothing different, and I can make 5 times more money just because of the capital that I'm managing. And this is what your bank does, guys. What trading is and why they want you to open a savings account and why they offer you an APR on your savings account is because they take that money into their own funds, and then they put it to people who are licensed, and they sell securities, and they do all this, and they trade it on the Forex market, and they trade on the futures market, and they're making tons and tons and ton of money off of your money because you're funding the bank as a savings account. And they're like, oh, here's a little percentage, thanks. Well, what if you were to be your own bank, per se, right? Again, not guaranteed. I'm not saying any guarantees whatsoever, but I'm saying, what does it cost you for your future? What does your future look like? Are you willing to do this for your future? And that's all I have for you guys tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for this informative opportunity presentation, guys. I'm super passionate about what I do. I love teaching people all across the world. I love helping people all across the world literally live their dream life. So if you want that too, guys, get back with the person who invited you on this call. Much love and appreciation. We'll see you guys on the next one.